DJ Cactus. Definitely one of the most recurring of our authors. Yeah, well, yeah, muted myself. I always mute whenever I look up the author's name. Yeah, not tell you that. I thought I told you that. Because whenever I like put this in the edit and I have to make them all individual videos, I can see where the audio wave just flatlines. And I'm like, that's why I stopped talking. That's why I muted myself, and I can separate the videos more successfully. But yeah, DJ Cactus. DJ Cactus. The last one we had of you, DJ Cactus, is 2540. We are back, no problem. I shall keep reading though. Which was the lime, the travel time, of course. Alright, DJ Cactus. Now we have Joseph and the Technicolor Dream Goat. That is Technicolor. God damn. Look at that. That goat be fucking. Memetic inoculation required. By continuing to read this page, you agree to be memetically inoculated by a class 2 memetic hazard so as to perceive the memetic entity described in this file. There's currently I'm Dr. AfroFluff. I don't take that kind of shit. There's currently no way to undo this memetic inoculation. Individuals assigned to SCP-2576 are required to be inoculated. Please observe the image contained in this file and read the caption beneath it. Personnel who are properly inoculated should be able to perceive the image as it is described in this caption. Object class Euclid. Special containment procedures SCP-2576 and Joseph Abbasi are contained in a low security dormitory at Area 12 and are under the jurisdiction of the Foundation Parapsychology Department. Joseph Abbasi has expressed no desire to leave Area 12, as such will likely sustain SCP-2576 containment indefinitely. Research into SCP-2576 status in the event of Mr. Abbasi's death is ongoing. And here the picture says, contained within this image is a memetic entity that appears to be multicolored goat. Properly inoculated individuals should be able to perceive this goat. I do perceive this goat. Does it go perceive me though is a question. I rather it does not, okay? SCP-2576 is a memetic non-entity capable of being perceived only by humans who are aware of its perception by other humans. SCP-2576 resembles a small Capra hircus or common domesticated goat, whose outermost layer of skin and fur is constantly shifting pattern of all colors of visible light. So it's just like, Brave Lord Goto! Despite its ability to be perceived by humans as an actual physical entity, testing and visual observation of SCP-2576 has concluded that it does not exist except as a memetic device within human minds. Okay. Cool. It's just like Cradlewood Park. It doesn't act, it's of a mind, bro. SCP-2576 usually acts like a typical domesticated goat, and with several exceptions, SCP-2576 cannot interact physically with the world around it and is capable of moving between walls and other solid objects. It goes just walking through a wall and like you're in the bathroom and just out the wall comes this fucking rainbow neon rave goat and it just goes and you're like, oh! Except that unless you're not aware of it, then you won't see it. It's just there. It's capable of SCP-2576 does not appear to require sustenance, so can be perceived as attempting to eat grass or other plant life it encounters. SCP-2576 can communicate with humans, usually in their native tongue, but does not produce actual sound, instead projecting its voice as a memetic influence within a human mind. Individuals who hear SCP-2576 speak to them find it difficult to describe the voice they are hearing, and the description usually conflict with each other. Back and see, we are talking about the goat. We're talking about a goat, that's for sure. SCP-2576 self-describes as Discordius, the harbinger of So, Discordia is the Roman version of Eris. And both of them, of course, are gods of mischief and strife and discord, as the name says. So I wonder if Discordius is either another name for Discordia, or is like a gender bend version of Discordia. Okay, sorry, Silver wants to have something specific real quick. Let me just there we go. The Harbinger of Chaos claims to be a powerful mimetic entity that has become trapped within the form of a mimetic goat by Joseph Abbasi, formerly -B, as goat herder from Zar, Pakistan. Despite consistent testing on Joseph Abbasi, that has been unable to produce any evidence that Mr. Abbasi exhibits any anomalous qualities whatsoever. SCP-2576 does not appear capable of existing in any form outside of a range of roughly 30 meters from Mr. Abbasi. While this seems to cause SCP-2576 a considerable amount of distress, it is being contained by Foundation personnel. SCP-2576 appears to have reassigned itself to its current existence, preferring to spend its time acting like a goat and attempting to proselytize the Foundation personnel near Mr. Abbasi. That would be trippy, just go in Foundation bathroom. Maybe a they-them god of chaos. Yeah, it could be. Let me actually see. Let me actually look up Discordia, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna get the Smite version of her, but as a Roman equivalent. In Roman mythology, Discordia is the Roman equivalent of the Greek Eris. Also strife and discord. She was the daughter of Nyx, Knight, and Erebus, like this. Eris Discordia has no mythology other than her involvement in the Judgment of Paris. Unlike her opposite, Concordia, Discordia was not called. Was not a cold goddess, but simply a literary person. But I don't think yet Discordius is look at how many times the name is getting fucking. There it is. Nope, never mind. It's still Discordia. Yeah, nope. I think it's just a they-them. Is a guy after? Oh no, Discordia is a female god. It's a goddess. Yes, Discordia is a goddess. That I knew already. But yeah, so I was just thinking of like, if Discordius was like a different name that she ever had in her life. But yeah, let's go on. Addendum 1, Discovery. SCP-2576 was discovered by Joseph Abbasi in 2009. It was shortly thereafter contained by Foundation personnel after reports of a ghostly creature haunting a Pakistani man were circulated. Where's my water? Circulating on the internet. The following is an interview with Joseph Abbasi shortly after his collection by Foundation personnel. SCP-2576 dialogue was transcribed by an outside observer. Begin log. Okay, we have Dr. Bakori. So tell us about the night you first saw the goat. Well, you have dreamed about work, yes? I think most people have. I dream about girls sometimes. That is my work. So that night, I sleep later than usual and restless and filthy, the foul mind of a man. Restless because of the presence of Discordius, undoubtedly. Actually, let me give Discordius a different voice because it's supposed to be like a voice that is like. So I'm going like, you know what I'm going to do with Discordius, with SB? I'm going to give him a different voice every time because it's supposed to be a voice that's like not really described well. Restless and filthy, the foul mind of a man. Restless because of the presence of Discordius, undoubtedly. When you give it a rest for 5 minutes. SCP-2576 is silent. Thank you. In my dream, I saw the sky covered with the colors of the rainbow, flashing across the sky, very bright. Then I saw something coming out of the sky, wrapped in the colors. It looked like an eye, but it was also many eyes, and it spun very quickly. When it looked out something, that thing was destroyed. Black lightning came down around me, striking and disturbing the ground. It was very uncomfortable, and it was not long before the eye settled on me. What happened then? An abomination! Blasphemy! Wretched defeat! Pokey. Enough. Mr. Brassi slaps into the which, despite its lack of physical presence, wheels from the striking glowers at Mr. Brassi from the corner of the room. I named the goat Pokey. He does not like it very much, but I do not like being told about the wretched undulations of humanity's sins while I'm trying to sleep. Pokey. Pauses. The monster in the sky settled its gaze on me, and for a moment I felt an intense heat. But then I remembered my goats and was comforted. Next thing I knew, I had opened my eyes from my dreaming, and Pokey was standing before me. He was very confused, I think. I took him some time before he settled down. You said earlier that others did not believe you at first. No, I don't think other people can see Pokey until they are told he is there. They cannot hear him either. He doesn't seem to be like this. He doesn't seem to like this either, since he most likely likes to bother people. He wasn't always a rainbow goat. At first, he was a regular goat. Several days later, I found him looking like he looks now. He cannot do much, but he can make himself rainbow-colored, so he did that. I think it was out of spite. And succumb to your bestial nature. Give in to humanity. Embrace your lust for blood and metal. Eradicate this guilt. Has the goat ever harmed you or anyone else? No. You know he's not really there, right? He's not real. Where I will ravage you very bang and obliterate your pitiful essence. Your suckling children will reap with a merciful death after I... Pokey, go lie down. I am the Scorpius, harbinger of chaos, and I will come for you. Domesticated human sheep, petrified of true power. At his blood and steel, you're under attack. But I will lie down, as I decide to rest for a short time. Glares at Mr. Abbasi and Dr. Bakuri. You do well to tremble amongst yourself while I slumber. Is it always like this? Usually, but he actually really enjoys being scratched behind the ears. If you can believe that. That usually calms him down. Or an oats. He loves oats. He can't. He doesn't actually eat them. No. But he goes through the motions that they seem to make him happy. Why do you think he looks like a goat? Well, I think wherever Pookie came from, he must have been a big deal. He came here expecting to be a big deal here too, but how big a deal can something be if it can get trapped as a green goat in the poor herder's head? He's funny. I don't mind him gaming around, but here as a goat and somewhere else it could cause trouble, eh? Better here as a goat, yep. And look, I kind of love how like the goat's like, I will bring this world down to my knees, down to his knees. And it was like, Pookie, lie down. How dare you say that to me, but I shall lie down for now. You will tremble one day. Addendum 2. Incident log. The following are recorded incidents between SB-2576 and Foundation personnel. Any personnel who encounter SB-2576 is encouraged to file a report with the SB-2576 research team at Site 17. Incident ID I.2576.1. Date 9/13/2010. Location Site 17, B Wing Cafeteria. Dr. Lauren Palmer was confronted by SB-2576 during breakfast. SB-2576 spoke apparently to Dr. Palmer about undoing the vile operation of her unclean flesh. SB-2576 continued for several minutes before growing tired and falling asleep on the ground near Dr. Palmer's table. SB-2576 was shortly thereafter collected by Mr. Abbasi and returned to the containment. It sounds almost like a kid that goes around and be like, I'm a wizard! Bow down before me! And it was like, yeah, sure, it's good. And then the parent shows up, is like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? Don't bother people here. No! Unhand me! Incident ID I.2576.5. Date 11/25/2011. Testing chamber W303. SB-2576 entered the wall of the testing chamber during routine testing of SCP. SCP-2573 marked on
The frailty of this small existence and the absolution of truth that all wicked souls must face.
became distracted by Dr. Moore's laser pointer before eventually returning to Mr. Bassi, who was undergoing a routine examination the next room. I love how, yeah, at the end he's just, he pretends to be some sort of hot shot, but then he just gets distracted, falls asleep. The fact that baby goats are called kids doesn't help this theory that this goat is a child. That is actually brilliant. That might be, see, there we go. I told you, it's like a kid. Incident ID I-2576.9. Date 6/1/2012. Location Assistant Director Sinclair's office. 2576 entered Assistant Director Sinclair's office during the meeting between the Assistant Director Actors of Site 81 and Director Orwell of Site 63. SB-2576 attempted to get the attention of the three directors in order to proselytize to them, but was ignored. After multiple attempts to interact with the directors, SB-2576 became quiet for a time and watched the directors from the corner of the office. Sometime later, SB-2576 approached Assistant Director Sinclair, who proceeded to scratch SB-2576 behind the ears and offered some oats, which it promptly was perceived to be seen eating. SB-2576 reported wagged its tail throughout the exchange. It is a child in my head. Canonically, it's a child in my head. It's trying to get like everybody's attention, trying to be like, I will cause great mischief if you don't pay attention, if you don't want this to happen. But then like it falls asleep after getting bored. It gets distracted by toy-like things. When it gets ignored, it just kind of like mopes in the corner until somebody like, you know, like it's like, you want your favorite snack? And he's like, yes. So yeah, I think it's a kid, dude. As you said, the fact that the baby goats are called kids